Hey, how's it going guys? Phil here, and this is a review for the ChefIQ Smart Electric Pressure Cooker.
Thank you to Best Buy for sending me this product for free to try. You'll receive the pressure cooker, 4-foot power cord, wire steam rack with handles, a pair of silicone hot mitts, plastic soup spoon and rice paddle, and an instruction manual and safety guide. There are a number of safety stickers on the lid that you can remove or leave in place as reminders, but you do need to remove and discard the blue tape over the pressure regulator knob. Turning the knob sets it to the venting position or sealed positions. The small red float adjacent to the pressure regulator indicates whether or not the cooker is pressurized, and when the unit is under pressure, this indicator will rise up and seal the steam inside at the same time. At the back of the unit, you'll find a removable condensation cup, which collects any liquid that drains from the grooved rim, which should be emptied and cleaned between uses. This spring-loaded pin helps the cooker detect when the lid is open or closed. If the pin gets stuck for any reason, simply reach underneath and pop it up with your finger. The lid of the pressure cooker unlocks with a counterclockwise twist, and inside you'll find a measuring cup, steam basket with handle, and non-stick inner bowl. Remember to remove the protective paper under the bowl before first use. The pressure cooker has a non-stick interior with a pressure-activated heating element in the middle. The rice paddle or soup spoon can be stored in the small holder on the right-hand side of the base. Along the inside of the removable bowl are capacity indicators from 4 to 20 cups in 2-cup increments, and 1 to 4 liters in half-liter increments. Note that the max fill lines for pressure cooking versus other modes like slow cook are marked accordingly. To replace the lid, set it on top at a slight rotation and turn it clockwise to lock. The lid can be stored in either of the handles on the sides when not in use. Towards the rear of the unit is the power port for the power cable. When you plug the unit in for the first time, it will prompt you to download the ChefIQ app to set up the smart cooker, so you will need a smartphone or tablet to set the unit up, as there is no way to bypass this screen. However, once initialized, you can use the smart cooker without the app through the onboard controls. Also, note that there is no power button, and once plugged in, the unit stays on, though it will enter a sleep mode after a few minutes of inactivity. So I'm going to download and install the app on my smartphone. When you launch the app, you'll need to register an account with ChefIQ. Allow location access, then select the smart cooker you want to pair with. On the unit, the LCD will display a code for Bluetooth pairing, which you'll need to enter in the app. Next, connect the smart cooker to your Wi-Fi network, and this allows you to control it over your internet connection. It'll also download the latest firmware automatically. Once that's done, setup is complete, and you can use the smart cooker with or without the app. Let's take a look at the manual controls first. Note that the LCD is not a touchscreen, and you'll need to use the control knob below it to select and confirm the different settings by pressing it. You'll notice to the sides of the screen are different menu and mode selections like pressure cook, Sear Sauté, steam, slow cook, favorites, and more. Just tap on the one you want and the display will show you the options for it accordingly. Then, to scroll through the options, turn the control wheel below the screen and press it to select one, for example beef from the slow cook menu. There may be a sub-menu to further specify what you are cooking, like bone-in short ribs, followed by a time selection of how long you want to cook for as a starting point. Before you start the cooking program, you can make any final adjustments to the settings before pushing the knob to continue. Then touch the flashing start-stop key and the pressure cooker will run for the selected amount of time. Touch it again to cancel cooking if you want to stop the mode before the timer runs out. At any time, you can press the scale key just above the knob, and it'll bring up the current weight of the contents of the cooker. Press the knob to zero the scale before adding and measuring more ingredients. You'll notice that the preset quick selections in each mode are different, so the beef selection under pressure cook allows me to select whole roast, bone-in short ribs, or cubes. It'll then ask me how much I'm cooking, or I can elect to use the scale and it'll weigh exactly what I have, then automatically choose the cook settings accordingly. Again, you can change any of these settings as needed prior to starting the cooking program. For pressure cooking, it'll also prompt you to add water or liquid, and the minimum required for operation is at least half a cup. If you need to go back and change your selections, simply tap the back button to the left of the control knob. Cook time can be set anywhere from 1 minute to 4 hours in pressure cook mode, or 24 hours for slow cook mode. You can select low or high pressure settings, activate keep warm, which keeps your food at 165 degrees Fahrenheit for up to 72 hours, choose a delayed start in 15-minute increments up to 24 hours, and just be sure to follow food safety guidelines, since whatever is in the pot will be sitting at room temperature for that amount of time. And you can also set the pressure release behavior, quick, pulse, or natural, which are each described briefly as you scroll through the options. Before we get started cooking, I'm going to wash the accessories in an inner bowl with some warm soapy water, then dry the bowl completely before setting it in the cooker. And I'd like to try making some pork ribs. I've got half a rack here, and I'll just go with the default settings. Now I'll need to add 24 ounces or 3 cups of water, and I'll let the scale here do the measuring for me. Next, I'm going to place the steam rack down and move the handles to the sides. Then place the seasoned ribs on top. Check that the silicone ring is installed under the lid and close and lock the lid to the cooker. Make sure the pressure regulator is set to sealed, then press start. The unit will preheat in order to come up to pressure and displays its progress as a percentage. This typically takes about 10 to 15 minutes, but may take more or less time depending on how much food you put in the cooker and the starting temperature of your ingredients. When the unit comes up to pressure, you'll see that the red float valve next to the regulator has popped up. The lid will be locked to prevent accidental pressure release, and the cook timer will start counting down. There's also a ring-shaped progress bar around the time that shortens as the timer runs down. After the timer runs out, it'll beep for 10 seconds to warn you that it's about to release the pressure. For the quick release method, the steam will vent out all at once automatically. So there's no need for you to manually turn the valve to venting. This helps protect you from accidental burns, as you don't want your hands near the hot steam as it exits the valve. When all the pressure is released, the float valve will drop down, and the LCD will display this message, and the unit enters keep warm mode if you have that option enabled. Now the lid should be safe to remove, so let's see how the ribs turned out. They're cooked all the way through, and they're definitely fall off the bone tender. I've brushed them with a little barbecue sauce, and these are perfectly braised ribs that I didn't need to fire up the grill or oven for. But this wouldn't be a smart cooker if we didn't use the internet connected features, and that's where the app comes in. From the app, you can look up recipes, browse for new ideas, and even mark your favorites for quick reference. Once you've found a recipe you want to make, you can view the video-guided step-by-step instructions how to prepare and cook the dish in your smart cooker. It'll even send the recommended settings to your machine over your Wi-Fi, so all you need to do is follow along and occasionally tap Next. It's like having a pro chef helping you out every step of the way. There's a whole bunch of categories and daily recommendations to keep things fresh and interesting, so it's not all soups and stews. One of my favorite treats to make is tapioca pearls for bubble tea. I just put 1 cup of tapioca in the pot, add 2 cups of water, and a 1/4 cup of sugar, choose manual pressure mode, and cook for 2 minutes at high pressure with a quick release. Pop on the lid and press start. A few minutes later, and I have perfectly cooked tapioca pearls, just like you'd get at a restaurant or bubble tea shop. I use this cooker a lot. For example, I'll use the Sear Sauté mode to brown ground beef for tacos or chili, then switch over to slow cook mode when I add the rest of the ingredients. It also makes great pasta, rice, hard-boiled eggs, and even yogurt. It's definitely one of the most used small appliances that I have in my kitchen due to its versatility. It's a great way to make one-pot meals and cut down on the number of pots and pans used when making a meal, and it's a lot faster and more energy efficient than using the stove. I hope you enjoyed this review. You can ask me any questions in the comments. I'll put a link to the product in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and join me next time.